Hello and welcome to CAD Monkey Videos. In this video, we're going to go over default keyboard shortcuts. Most of you probably use the ribbon, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you did want to speed things up a bit, instead of having to go back and clicking and searching, you can actually use a keyboard for a lot of these commands. And they get even shorter than what they show on the command line. So as you can see on the bottom of line, you can see it says line. If you type in that in the command line at the bottom, L-I-N-E, enter, you got yourself a line. Now you can go even shorter than that. L-enter gets you the same thing. And that works for a lot of these. So if we move on to polyline, you can see at the bottom it says P-line. So you can type in P-line, or you can even type in P-L, enter. And it gets you the same command, A, enter for arc to continue on, enter to end it, and there you go, there's your polyline. So circle, you can either type circle, or even shorter, just type in C. C, enter, and there you go. Arc is the same way. You can type in ARC or just A. So A, enter, and you have your arc command. Let's clear this out and continue on. So the smaller icon is rectangle. So you can type in rectang, which is a little odd for me, but you get the same job, or the same thing gets accomplished with REC. REC, enter. And to go on a little further, if you REC, enter, you pick a base point. At the bottom you can see area, dimensions, rotation. If you type in D, enter, you can actually put in your value. So length, you can do 4, and width, you can do 2. And once you pick which direction you want it to be in, there you go. There is some of the submenus on rectangle. Now, elliptical arc, actually there's 3 of them, axis and center. It's basically an ellipse. Let's move that over, M, enter. Yep, also a shortcut. Move is right here. Move or M, enter. For ellipse, you can actually type EL, and arc and center are related to these two, elliptical arc and center. So if I go EL, enter, and then go arc, perform that, and then this is where you're actually cutting it. And see, so you're picking how much of the elliptical arc you want in your command, or in your selection, or your object, that's what you want, in your object. So let's delete again. Moving on, copy. So a few of my teammates actually do custom commands for this, and that's what they use for circle, or C. They change it, and they apparently don't use circle ever. So they would prefer that shortcut is for copy, because copy we do use a lot. But CO, enter, is that command. So we can actually use C, enter, to create a circle, and then we can select that, CO, enter, will get you your copy. Click enter or escape, and as you can see, the command that they show is copy. Stretching, we can actually do that with the box. Let's do REC, enter, oops, REC, enter, create a little rectangle, and so stretch, they say type in stretch. You can type in S as well. So S, enter, you click right to left, click these 2 points, and then you can actually hit enter to acknowledge that you've chosen those portions, or those endpoints, and we'll do F8 to get a clean straight stretch. And there's S, enter for stretch. Rotate, they state rotate. You can do it with RO, enter. So let's move this a little clearer. Select it, RO, enter, and let's do 45. Mirror, MI, enter. So if we select this, MI, enter, we'll pick the midpoint as the axis that it's going to be mirroring over, and we will keep both instances, so no erasing of the source. So now we have our 2 objects mirrored over the midpoint that we selected. So let's clear that away. Mirror scale. So if we go ahead and draw a box or square, rectangle, we can do scale, SC, enter. And we can click the lower left point as the endpoint. You can see that's the command. Now if you do reference R enter, you can actually click a segment or a reference. So that segment is what I'm using as a reference, and let's say we want to use whatever scale gets that line to 12. We type in 12, and now we can double check with dimlin, and there you go, it's 12 inches. Speaking of dimlin, that's for this one. So they have dim linear, and that's not much shorter, but it is shorter. So continuing on, we can do trim, fillet, and array, and I would say that is good for now. So let's go ahead and let's draw a polyline, just a random polyline. Let's do F8 off so we can get a bit more of shape. Not like it matters, just so there's a little bit of variety. Now let's pick a trim line. So this is the line we're going to trim on, enter. So the command shows trim, or TR enter works just as well. So TR enter, we click the line that we want to trim against, we hit enter, and now we can pick either this side or that side. Let's pick this side, and there you go, the object has been trimmed along that line. Now fillet, I believe it's just F, or you can type in fillet as they say. So it's interesting that they show the entire name for the command line when there are actual shorter shortcuts than what they show. So if I type in F, and let's put a radius R, enter, let's say 0.25, we'll click our two edges that we want the radius upon. Very tiny, but it's there, you can see it. So that's the fillet command. It just creates a radius between two joining lines, intersecting lines, either way. So let's clear that out. Start with the little circle, C enter, and now we can go with the array command. So array rect can either be rectangular or polar, I believe. Oh, and path, interesting. I haven't used that one. I'll have to take a look at that one. Rectangular array, so I believe it's just AR. Is it A? Okay, yes, so it's AR. I actually do type array completely, so AR, it gets even shorter. We can do rectangular, and there's your rectangular array, or we can do C enter. Well, actually, that won't do us much good unless we have a, here, let's see. Let's do a box. It would have worked with a circle too. So let's go AR enter. Let's do polar instead. PO enter. You can see the letters selected in blue, or highlighted in blue down here. So that was what you would type in for a shortcut. PO enter. And then we can pick this as the center. And there you go. There's the polar array. So similar to this, which was rectangular, now you have a polar array. So let's escape from that. And that is majority of that menu, and I think that is good for now. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope this is helpful. Once again, let me know if I'm going too fast or too slow. Any comments or suggestions are perfectly welcome. Thank you very much.